Hello, this is Melody. If you're watching this, there's a good chance you're in the middle of something that feels completely overwhelming. Maybe you feel like you're dying. Maybe you can barely get out of bed. Maybe you're convinced something is seriously wrong with you. I want you to know you're not broken. You're not crazy. You're not failing. You're most likely in what's called a dark night of the soul, and today I'm going to share my own very raw experience with it. What feels like your total breakdown is often the exact doorway your soul uses to break you open. These are the things I wish I had known when I was going through it, because it's very lonely and you feel like you're the only person in the world going through it. You're not. There are many of us having the same experience at the same time. I want to let you know what to expect, so you know there really is an end to it, and it's eventually an amazing and happy ending. I hope that brings some comfort. So here's what happened. A year and a half ago, I was minding my own business, peacefully living my life, and then my twin flame came back. I could never have predicted how much it would turn my life upside down and inside out. It was the beginning of a completely new me. Looking back, I compare it to getting pregnant. He activated me, then he went about his normal life, while I was left to deal with the pain, exhaustion, being ripped apart from the inside out. I had no idea what was going on at first. Thank God I figured it out fairly early, or I would have thought I was going crazy and dying all at the same time. So it was a dark night of the soul that lasted a whole month. Of course, it was the month of February, which where I live is the darkest, coldest, most depressing month of the year. So it just added to the vast darkness and loneliness I was going through. I truly thought I was dying. There were days I couldn't function. I would drag myself to work, but I could barely hold a conversation with my clients. I felt heavy, empty, and completely disconnected from life. There was no logical reason for it. Nothing bad was happening in my external world, but inside it felt like everything was collapsing. I could be in a room full of people and still feel like I was behind a glass wall, watching life happen to someone else. I took 2 or 3 Epsom salts baths a day. I wasn't sure why, but I just craved them. I couldn't wait to get in the hot bath and just soak. I found out later it really does help because of the detox effects of it and the heat. When I wasn't in the tub, I would put the space heater on the floor and lay in front of it for hours because I couldn't get warm. I would listen to meditations, and that would take my mind out of that crazy spiral I was in. I felt like I was hanging on by a thread. Like literally, there were times I was just getting by second by second. At that time, it was the hardest thing I had ever been through in my life. Eventually, I realized this was ego death, a massive Kundalini purge. All the old identities, all the ways I had learned to survive, all the stories I had told myself about who I was, they were dying, and dying hurts. It felt like I was grieving a version of myself that I didn't even know I was attached to. The moment I understood, this is ego death, not actual death, the terror softened just enough for me to ride the waves instead of fighting them. Looking back, this dark night happened right after my twin came back into my life this last time. My soul was clearing massive space, even though I didn't understand it at the time. If you're in a dark night right now, here's what I want you to know. First, it's temporary, even when it feels endless. Next, you're not doing anything wrong. And your body is doing incredibly deep work. The most important part, the more you resist it, the harder it feels. And you might feel strange sensations in your body, surges of energy, waves of sadness or fear that don't match anything in your current life. That doesn't mean you're broken. It often means energy is moving. And gentle care is more important than forcing productivity. Here are some of the practical things that helped me. Epsom salts baths, sometimes multiple per day. Lying in front of a heater or under heavy blankets. Anything that makes you feel warm and cozy. Minimal stimulation, soft music, low lights. Meditation to calm my poor, overstimulated nervous system. Telling myself this is a purge, not a punishment. Allowing myself to rest without guilt. For me, the dark night was not the end of my awakening journey, but just the beginning of the real work. It strips away what you're not, so you can finally become who you truly are. If you're in it right now, please be so gentle with yourself. You're not failing, you're transforming. And one day, maybe when you least expect it, you'll look back and realize that horrible, heavy season was actually sacred. You've got this. I'm sending you so much love and softness if you're in the middle of it right now. So this is just the first episode of my Kundalini awakening story. So please subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll know when I post the rest of the series. Coming next in the series is my spontaneous Kundalini activation. What it felt like in the moment. The sobbing, the wailing, the kriyas, feeling possessed, and finally, a full-body orgasmic release. Thank you so much for listening, and please leave a comment if you have encouragement for others who are going through this amazing, beautiful, difficult, painful journey. With so much love, Melody.